Okay, sup guys? Just a late night session right now. Just writing in my journal right now, just chilling. And I was thinking about something. I just want to share the story of me in high school. Because in high school, I used to literally hide in the bathroom. Not the bathroom, sorry. I used to hide in the classroom before school, and also during lunch. I used to literally hide. Oh, bro, let me get a better mic here. So I used to hide in the classroom before school, because basically what would happen was I would arrive to school 45 minutes early, and because I took the bus, and before school, the whole grade, two grades, about 300 people, they would hang out in like the common area. There's like my school had a common area, so everyone would hang out in the common area. It was chaos, bro. You know, high school students, by the way, I'm 26. This was like 8 years ago. So, you know, high school kids, it's absolute chaos. The common area, there was like groups of people, groups were interacting with each other. There was always a guy running for some reason. Shit was flying everywhere. It was high school, bro. It was absolute chaos. Everyone's immature. So was I, but you know, it was absolute chaos. And back then, I was like a very shy, kind of timid kid. And this was so far outside of my comfort zone, that kind of environment. It literally scared me to enter that kind of environment. I had no idea how to even handle that kind of environment. If I walked into that common room, I wouldn't even know how to enter a group. If I were to go to a group conversation, I would just be like kind of standing on the edge of the group. Like there would be the group, I would stand on the edge and I would just kind of observe everyone. And even if I did participate, say for example, I said a joke or I like tried to make a comment, it wouldn't match the energy of the group conversation, and the group conversation would literally just stop. I don't know if that makes sense. If you're familiar, if you relate to what I'm saying, you've probably experienced that kind of thing where you kind of derail a group conversation for a couple seconds and there's like silence and then the group conversation continues. Point I'm trying to make is that was so far outside of my comfort zone, that kind of environment. So what I used to do was I used to just for 45 minutes before school, I would literally just go chill and sit in the classroom, the class before school started, the classroom. And I think like I would sit there and I'd just do my own thing. I was like learning Italian, I was learning different languages. You know, stavo imparando l'italiano, ma adesso il mio italiano non è buono perché fa molto tempo che non lo parlo. Point is, I was learning a bunch of my own useless stuff, but the truth is, I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to go down there and I wanted to participate with the chaos that was going on. Because the point I'm trying to make with this story is, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in with everyone. But the problem was, the reason I couldn't go down there and interact with everyone was because my two main friends, technically two main friends plus like one tier down main friends, they weren't there. So my main friends, if they were there, I would like join their group or whatever. My tier down friends, if they were there on their own, I could go with them. But if they were in a group, it was still a bit outside of my comfort zone. I don't know if this makes sense. If you relate to what I'm saying, you'll understand what I mean by like friends you're comfortable with in certain situations, and then friends you're like acquaintances with. But my main friends, I had like two, technically three. There was another guy who I was comfortable with because he was chill. I can't remember the exact number. They weren't there because they came late to school. Those motherfuckers, they came late to school. And so, no, obviously, like, that was a joke. But they came late to school. So, I didn't feel comfortable going down there into, like, the group chaos interactions. So, I would literally just sit on my own in the classroom. But like I said, I wanted to go down there. By the way, it was the same in lunch. If they were not free during lunch, what I would do, I couldn't hide in a classroom during lunch, so I would walk around pretending I was busy. I was like, oh, bro, I gotta go to the bathroom now. Oh, bro, I gotta go pick up this thing. I gotta go here. I would act busy for 30 minutes, wasting my time, wasting my life, worrying about what people thought of me. But the point I'm trying to make with this story is I wanted to fit in, but I couldn't. I didn't know how to fit in. When I tried to fit in, I couldn't match everyone's energy. Whenever I tried to have a deeper conversation with people, it would feel like an interview. Like they might be nice to me. Like they'll like laugh. They'll like, seem nice. They seem like they're enjoying the conversation. but they would never want to hang out with me one-on-one, or I'd be so forgettable. They'd completely forget about me. They wouldn't invite me to stuff. It was clear like we weren't connecting or something like that. So I was in this dilemma. I wanted to fit in, but I didn't know how. There was some people who I did get along with, like I said, those main friends. But that was because maybe they were extroverted and they would like carry me in. They would do all the work, if that makes sense. But I wanted to be able to fit in with everyone. I wanted to be able to banter with everyone, like match their like group chaos and that kind of thing. And the thing is, I didn't fit in, and I say good. Good that I didn't fit in. I was not supposed to fit in. I was not meant to fit in. But here's the thing. Looking back, I think there's two kinds of fitting ins, if that makes sense. The first kind of fitting in is kind of like fitting in a hype way. So what that means is there's chaos going around in that environment. If you can go in there and match the level of the chaos and add your own chaos into the mix, if this makes sense. If you've ever like been to a party and you've kind of been in this state where you're just like so easily like going around and like joining in the chaos, if that makes sense, where you're just like, you know, bouncing things off people. It's like you're not even thinking. You're just like naturally speaking to everyone, and you're kind of accessing this state where you're just like naturally witty, naturally doing dumb stuff, naturally doing funny stuff. It's very, very shallow. You're not going deep with anyone, but you're kind of like matching the dynamics of that chaos. That's one kind of fitting in. That's something I could not do. That's something I kind of had to learn how to do over time. And even to this day, it depends on the situation. Sometimes I can't access that. Sometimes I don't even want to access that. But that's one kind of fitting in. Now, if I could go back in time, and if he wanted to fit in that way, that's something he could learn. You can 100% learn that kind of thing. He can 100% do that. You know, it would have been fun. It would have been cool. But I think what he really wanted, younger me, is he wanted the second kind of fitting in. And that was where you fit in and you make connections with people. Because I wanted to be able to talk to anyone and like develop a friendship with them, develop a connection to them. Because everyone in that environment, everyone in my school, it seemed like they were all friends. Everyone was like naturally talking to each other. Everyone was naturally like connecting with each other. And I was like, how can everyone be friends with each other? Why am I the only one who has like 2 friends? But everyone else like so naturally speaks with each other. Everyone so naturally connects with each other. And what I realized was it was all fake. These like connections everyone had with each other that seemed like everyone had with each other, they weren't actually real connections. Because it became very, very obvious once high school ended. Pretty much people only ended up having like a couple friends that they kept up with. So it's kind of an illusion that everyone's connected with each other, but they're not really. But the thing is, they all do have, again, one, it's that hype thing. Everyone's like hype with each other. Everyone can access that hype kind of fitting in. At least this is my theory, by the way. This could be completely wrong. But the second thing is, the connections that they seem to have were very, very superficial. They always connected, for example, with like mainstream trends, like celebrity gossip or like the newest like TV shows or something. Or they fit in talking down on other people. Like they made a connection by bringing other people down. Or they talked about, the newest trends, the newest, that kind of thing. And, you know, that's fun to talk about. I like to talk about music. I like to talk about the newest trends. But I wanted some people to talk to about like life. I wanted people to talk to about the stuff I was learning. I wanted to talk about like self-improvement, improving myself. I wanted to talk about ideas, improving our lives. I didn't want to talk about like pop culture and that kind of thing or music. It's cool to talk about from time to time, but I was looking for like a more deeper kind of friendship or something. Someone I could like grow with, someone I could, you know, develop with, if that made sense. And the reality is, I think if you don't fit in that way, then I say good. I say it's a good thing because it's actually a lot rarer than I realized. This is what I would go back and tell myself is you're not meant to really fit in with most people. It's just a brutal reality, especially if you're like if you're like 10 minutes deep into this video where you're like learning about developing yourself. Most people are not really interested in this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying it like to disrespect those people or something. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. Maybe we're the weird ones for being interested in this kind of thing. But the point is, what I realized was I was trying to fit in with everyone. But it was impossible because I wasn't meant to fit in with everyone. Like in that entire high school, there was maybe like one guy who I probably could have like gotten along with. And so you kind of have to realize that you're probably going to be alone, and that's completely normal. Those people who you genuinely like maybe can give value off each other or build a connection with, they will come into your life. But it's not going to happen with most people. That's the reality. So I used to blame myself when I couldn't connect with people, but it's actually two ways. It's not just like I can't connect with them, they can't connect with me. So it's not about like, because if a connection is meant to happen, I used to think it's like social skills or being able to hold a conversation, but a large part of it is just that you guys like get along. And that happens a lot more naturally than I realized. And so I was like trying to force it by fitting in with everyone, but I wasn't meant to. Now, again, like I said, it doesn't mean don't be hype with everyone. You can be hype, you can have fun with everyone. That's completely fine. Do that. Enjoy. But don't expect that you can connect with everyone. I think that's the thing I would tell myself. I was so desperate to be able to connect with everyone, but the reality is, even if I did connect with those people, and I did start to kind of force connections with people in university. I went to university and I started to force connections with people. I was like forcing myself to hang out with these people, get along with them, and it actually held me back. It did more damage than good, because when you hang around the wrong people like that and you force yourself to connect with them, you know how they say you're the average of the 5 people you hang around? Well, that's actually complete straight up facts. Because I started to get influenced. I started getting deeply into drinking. I started getting deeply into like smoking weed, doing drugs, caring about these like petty kind of things. Like, like the newest like pop trends or whatever, that kind of thing. Or gossip. Drugs especially. Started getting influenced and getting pulled into this kind of thing just because I wanted to fit in. And again, I'm not saying I shouldn't have hung around those people. It would have been fine to hang out with those people. But I shouldn't have expected some kind of deep relationship. And I definitely shouldn't have like invested so deeply into a lot of the people I met in my life. Because I feel like you're not meant to fit in. You probably aren't meant to fit in with 99% of people. So that's good. You should learn being alone and be patient until those people come into your life. That's what I think anyway. That's what I would tell my younger self, who was like he was trying to force connections with people. To him, I say, good that you don't fit in. Embrace it. Be so happy and so strong on your own. And still interact with these people. Have fun with them. They're not bad people. It's not that you shouldn't be around them. Just don't expect to be able to connect with them. And especially, don't force it, because they're going to influence you in a bad way. Looking back, 99% of those high school people were terrible influences that would have brought me downhill in my life. So in a weird way, I'm very happy that I didn't get too deeply into them. I think everything turned out perfectly in the end. That's what I think anyway. So I think developing, a connection with yourself is the most important thing. Kind of, follow your own path, live your own life. And in high school, in school or whatever, interact with these people, have fun with them, but don't expect anything deeper. Like I'm literally just sitting here. It's like 2 a.m. I'm literally just like writing in my book and I'm having fun. It's enjoyable. I'm going on a date with myself. So that's what I think, at least when it comes to like fitting in. Like, who cares? Who cares about fitting in? Who cares about being normal? Be completely abnormal. Be weird as fuck. I'm weird as fuck. Be weird. Be messed up. Be screwed up. Embrace your weird, screwed up side. Who cares? Really, who cares? Who cares about fitting in? You're not supposed to fit in. That's what I think. You're not supposed to fit in. And good. Don't fit in. Just like, yeah. Don't think I'm not saying like, oh, we're way better than all these people in our class. But like, we don't have to fit in. I think that's the main thing. Bruh, good night. I'm tired as fuck. Good night. Good night.